here with our homemade dart and homemade dartboard, and you're about to witness the very first throw. Before that, we gotta warm up a little. Don't wanna pull a muscle. Well, that was worth it. Alright guys, now for this project I'm having my friend Daniel help me out because we're going to be rooming together in college and we wanted a dartboard. And he might have slowed me down a little bit, but we just won't let him know that. Now we're going to start off by cutting out a circle of 1/4 inch plywood, and that's going to be the base of our dartboard. That way, whenever one of us gets mad because we lost and we chuck a dart as hard as we can at the dartboard, it's not going to go into the wall, and we won't have to pay a huge fee, so that's nice. Now we also wanted a cabinet that the board would sit in and look pretty in, so we decided to make that also out of plywood. We cut out the doors, which is the half square, and then the back is the whole square, and we also had to cut out the walls. Unfortunately, I didn't get a clip of us doing that, but this is Daniel planning down the walls so that they're halfway even. And they weren't perfect, so we had to trim them down a little. Now we went ahead and put the walls underneath the back and started screwing them in so it could turn into a box.
Well, it's going on his YouTube channel, so not mine.
Probably tapered the cut. I said we, not you.
I try my best.
I say we
Every
whenever
time
it's your
I
fault.
put myself out there.
No, I say we when it's your
I heard
fault,
it.
so you don't. Now, when I took apart my old workbench about a year ago, I saved the hinges from it because I figured I could use them for something. And this project was that something, so we didn't have to spend any money on hinges, and that's always a plus. And don't forget, guys, teamwork makes a dream. Hard one.
If you're not, it doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
If not, it's reasonable.
Alright, start screwing that one in. Oh. Now we cut the doors a little bit too long, so we just had to plane that down, and now they work perfectly fine. Japanese to do this.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't have any Japanese blood in me.
And it just so happened that I saved the handles from my old workbench too. So there's another thing we didn't have to spend money on. Then I went down to Walmart, picked up some black fabric for $2.50 per yard, which was pretty reasonable, and started nailing that in the box. I also used some hot glue on the sides to keep it nice and taut, and then I ran a blowtorch over it to make sure it didn't fray out everywhere. Now we get started on the dartboard. We went and picked up a cheap $5 boogie board and chopped a circle out of it and glued it up to our plywood. But unfortunately there was a little hole there, and we just filled that up with some glue and styrofoam. Then I cut out a circle of cardboard, and that'll keep the styrofoam in place so whenever darts go in and out of the board, pieces of styrofoam don't come out with it and then get stuck to everyone. Now in good quality dartboards, there's wires that separate the different circles and point values, and I wanted to put that idea onto this dartboard, that way there were no arguments about point value. So I just bent a coat hanger around random circles I had in the house, and it got pretty boring pretty quickly, and I learned that if you find a Lincoln hubcap on the side of the road, there's a wire on the inside that fits a dartboard perfectly. And you can also use the rings on a tomato cage as well. Now our original idea was to put black fabric on the dartboard and then spray paint over that. That didn't work, so I had to make the triangles out of duct tape. And to keep the rings in place, I had to make staples, which are also out of coat hangers. I just cut off a piece, sharpened both sides, and then bent it. Now, not only are there wires separating the different circles, but there's wires going in between every triangle. So I had to bend 20 wires around a little ring, which is a real pain in the butt. And then I wove the second ring on top of it by picking up every other wire, then sliding it down. And that's similar to like how you'd make a circular basket. And I did that same process on all the outer rings, but on every other ring, I actually looped the wire around it so that way the ring would not move anymore. Then to put the alternating colors on the two inner rings, I traced them out using Sharpie and then cut up little pieces of duct tape and stuck those in the shape of a circle. That's what it looks like once it's all taped up. I went ahead and put a center on it that's also made out of duct tape and used those staples that we made about 20 of them, and I used about 17 of them. Then I had to nail the wires down to the board, so I just made a little loop and then nailed it on into the board. By the way, if you want to learn how to make homemade darts, stay tuned and a video will be coming out this Saturday. Then we'll tape the board where we want it and start screwing it in from the back. That way no one sees the screws. Now I really wanted to show off the wood grain of this, so I sanded it up and tried sanding it, but it just looked like cat peed all over it. So I tried burning the wood and soaking it in olive oil. That turned out a lot better. But the thing you have to realize with plywood is that it's meant to be strong, not look good. But I think we made it look alright. Then I screwed in a wire to hang it up, and you want 2 points sticking out from the bottom so that the board won't wobble. I only put one, but I switched it out later. Then almost fall off your trash can and hang it up on your wall. Now we're not quite done yet. We have to put those points on there, and I just used some whiteout for that. We'll make it look nicer a little bit later.